One call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakudash. And I basically have an article pulled up here because the saying that's been going around is that there's no such thing as reincarnation, alright, and that reincarnation is wicked. But clearly reincarnation is a part of the scriptures, man. Reincarnation is a part of the scriptures in the Bible that people keep on the desk, that people have on their nightstand. Alright? Reincarnation is a part of the Bible. Reincarnation is biblical. Alright? And we're also living and experiencing, alright, reincarnation. Alright, through the men of Great Millstone, man. Cause some of the prophets of old are amongst Great Millstone, man. Okay? So I got an article pulled up here, and this is basically about John the Revelator on the island of Patmos, man. Alright? And I'm going to get some scriptures to prove to you that John is back. So he's reincarnated. Alright? He's living in these last days, whoever he might be. Alright? And it's all scriptural. Okay? It's not going to be too long. It's going to be quick and to the point. Alright? So it says, John on the island of Patmos, Revelations 1 and 9 through 11. It says, John was a prisoner on Patmos because he was preaching about Yahushai, and that he, Yahushai, had been raised from the dead. John had the visions described in the Revelations about AD 95. It says, the island of Patmos is a volcanic, treeless, rocky island about 9 kilometers by 50 kilometers or 6 by 30 miles. It is about 30 kilometers or 20 miles off of the western coast of modern Turkey. From here, John writes to the 7 churches, that's what we read when we're reading the book of Revelations. All right, all these revelations and visions came to John while he was on the island of Patmos. All right, so he was not prophesying to anyone. All right. All he was to do is to write what he's seen, write the visions down in a book, man, and write and put them out for this generation of Israel to see and to read, all right, and to be comforted. Because ultimately, this is Yahushai, all right, letting John know, all right, what's going to be happening in the last days. So John was not prophesying to any other people. John was on the island by himself. John was receiving visions and talking to angels, all right, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, the island of Patmos is a volcanic, treeless, rocky island about 9 kilometers by 50 kilometers or 60 by 30 miles. It is about 30 kilometers or 20 miles off the western coast of modern Turkey. From here, John writes to the 7 churches. It was where the Romans put the criminals they did not want to escape. It was lonely, all right, isolated. It was a lonely, isolated place. However, far from dying, as probably expected of loneliness, John had the company of millions of angels and other beings, you know. It says John was one of the few apostles who died a natural death at a great age, and that was about 98 AD. You know, this is an estimate, you know. Esau, we don't know if he's right or wrong, but from what you're reading here is saying that John the Revelator died at old age, man. He died alone, man. So how is it that the people that read the scriptures, they can't figure out that reincarnation is real, man? It's because the Lord is not dealing with a lot of our people, man. The Lord has to be supping with you spiritually, man. You have to have the eyes to see. All right? So with that, man, without further ado, I'm going to get this scripture. Now, we just read that John the Revelator was on an island, alone. All right? He was not prophesying to anybody. He was receiving visions by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the angels, man. All right? For these last days. So let's read a little bit about his experience and his instructions for the last day for his reincarnation, which is biblical, man. All right, it's Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. It says, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said, all right, this is the point here. This is the point that proves that reincarnation is real, because we established that. Let's go back to this article. We established that John died alone, man, on the island of Patmos. All right, it says John was one of the few apostles who died a natural death at a great age, and that was about 98 AD. Okay? And John was on the island by himself. Let's get where it said that. Right here it says, let's highlight it. It says that it was a lonely, isolated place. However, far from dying, as probably expected of loneliness, John had the company of millions of angels and other beings, okay? So John was on the island alone in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So let's read how his reincarnation comes to be and how it's possible and how he's back in the last days. Verse 10, it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, all right, this is the angel talking to John. All right, John in his loneliness, all right, which we know him not to be in his loneliness. He's really dealing with the angels, and he's in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So he was given instructions, and he was given directions, all right, and a script on how he was going to come back in the last days and prophesy again. All right, verse 11, it says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Now, if you have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai dealing with you, you would kind of question, how would he come to do this if he was on the island alone? How would he come to do this if it was just him isolated on this the island of Patmos? All right, for his punishment. All right, by way of the Romans. All right, how is this possible? All right, through reincarnation, man. Reincarnation, that is how this is possible, man. Let's read it again. It's Revelation chapter 10, verse 11. It says, and he said unto me, the angel speaking unto John, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. All right. So this just proves that John the Revelator, all right, would be back in the last days. And we happen to be in the last days. So that this would mean that John the Revelator is back, which means that this is a example of reincarnation, which is a part of the biblical, which is part of biblical prophecy, man. All right, reincarnation. That's why the apostles always say, if you can't understand reincarnation, you can't understand the scriptures, man. You see? So I'm gonna get one more to prove that not just John, but Daniel was back. Okay. All right, because reincarnation is real. It's all biblical, man. And if the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is dealing with you, you'll be able to see. What is it? Go thy Salakia, bear with me. Go thy way. I think it's in Daniel. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is Daniel's chapter 12. Daniel's chapter 12 and 13. I'm going to start at 12. It says, blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to 1,305 and 30 days. This is the angel talking to Daniel. It says, but go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. How is Daniel going to stand in his lot if Daniel died before Yahushua came, man? How will he be able to stand in the last days? Because he will be reincarnated. He is reincarnated and walking amongst the common people, man. And he has to be a part of Great Millstone because he has this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. All right, this is basic, man. It's plain and it's clear to them who have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua dealing with them, man. All of this is reincarnation. These men are back. That's why the angel told Daniel, go thy way till the end be. We are in the end. All right, so the Lord had Daniel go to sleep, which would be compared to death, but we know they just go to sleep. So the Lord had Daniel's body sleep, and he removed his spirit and put his spirit in a new body for these last days. And Daniel is prophesying again, just as John the Revelator is. All right, same situation, same example of reincarnation on how the spirit, all right, doesn't die and the spirit goes from body to body. All right, your spirit is reincarnated into a new body. Therefore, you are the same person that you were, just in a new body, and the Lord has planted you into a different lifetime. That's why the Lord told Daniel, go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. We are in the end of days. So these two men, along with other examples of reincarnation, all right, these two men, as well as Job, because Job said that though the skin worms eat away at his flesh, which means that he would go into the grave and his body would decay, all right, which means he died. He said that he would see his Redeemer in his own body, man. So that means that's reincarnation. So Job knew he would come back in these last days. All right, so there's multiple prophets, there's multiple spirits that have been reincarnated, all right, into new bodies for these last days. It's real simple, man. All right, and there's one more example I'm gonna close it out here. Okay. So let's get the book of John. Because there's evidence of reincarnation all over the scriptures, man. And you can only receive it if you got the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua dealing with you, man. Period. But let's get this last example. This is John. Let's go. I believe it's John the 9th chapter. This is John the 9th chapter, and bear with me really quick, Salakia. Salakia. It's taking a little bit more time than I expected. Is it in this chapter? Salakia, bear with me. I'm gonna have to Google this one really quick. Because I believe it's in John the 9th chapter. Who do they say I am? This is what Yahushua. This is what the disciples asked Yahushua. Salaki, this is what Yahushua asked the disciples, man. Who do they say? There we go. So it's in Matthew's 16th chapter. There we go. So it's Matthew 6. Let's see. Matthew chapter 16. Let's find it. 16 and 15. It's Matthew chapter 16. I'm going to start at Start at 13. Matthew 16 and 13, it says, when Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I am? Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist. Some say Elias. And others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. So this just proves that one of the prophets, or a prophet in general, could be raised and his spirit could be put back into another body, man. This is proof of reincarnation, man. All right, because the people thought that that Yahweh Shai was either John the Baptist, Elias, or Jeremiah reincarnated, man, or one of the prophets reincarnated. Reincarnation is in the scriptures. All right, verse 15, he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? So he asked the disciples, who did they think that he was? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art Hamashiach, the son of the living power. All right. All right, verse 17, and Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And this is the only way that you're going to understand reincarnation. This is the only way that you're going to understand that Yahushua is the son of Yahweh. All right, who he's the son and sits on the right hand side of the Most High, man, the Heavenly Father, man. And the only way to understand reincarnation, all right, in a biblical aspect, all right, as it's written, all right, as I've given examples of, all right, is if the Father reveals it to you through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So with that, man, I hope that was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. And salutations to you, Akim and Akwath, wherever you may be. All right, salutations to the hopeful elect and all the men pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. Shalom and Abba Babal.